Hey, Spirit, you ready for your close-up? Hello once again, and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel, where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome once again to Do-It-Yourself Budget Hot Rodding, and in this short series, we're going to take a good close look at the car that has really made the Prince Magnum channel what it truly is today. But before we begin getting into that, let's talk about a little bit of back history on this mini-series that we're about to dive into. First and foremost, as I just mentioned, Project Spirit is the car that really has built the Prince Magnum channel. It's the car that a lot of people tune into to watch stuff being done to, where we talk about different things that a lot of people have kind of forgotten the time. Along with that, the Prince Magnum channel gets to lay claim to a title that it's one of those titles that a lot of people really, I guess, didn't think about, or no one had thought about doing this before. But currently, to my knowledge and to everyone else's knowledge, the Prince Magnum channel is the first YouTube channel to make customizing cars and romance one of its main platforms. We're the first in the world to do it, to our knowledge. Now, for the record, I was not the one that noticed this. It was my lovely wife, Princess Feyru, who was the one to notice that we're the only ones doing it. So because of that, the biggest part of our platform, a lot of the romance stuff with the cars, a lot of times that ends up in some way, shape, or form involving this classic car right here. So because of that, and the fact that as the filming of this video, it is now getting late into December, as of November of 2019, Project Spirit turned 45 years old. Her original engine is still in here. So as kind of like, celebrating the fact that Project Spirit's 45 years old, still doing what she does best, and we're able to use her as a part of the romance side of the channel, connecting the two, making the Prince Magnum channel the first YouTube channel, to our knowledge, the first in the world to do that. It would only make sense to take a look closely at Project Spirit. Now, what do I mean by taking a close look at her? We're going to take a look at the history of the Mavericks. We're going to take a look at what the Mavericks were a lot like. What was it like during the 1970s when the Mavericks were new? We're going to take a look at engine specs, transmission. We're going to take a look at Project Spirit, even right down to her interior, and how the fact that even despite all the changes, she is still a time capsule of what the 1970s was a lot like. So I hope all of you enjoy this video series. It's going to be, I don't know how many videos is going to be in here, but there's going to be quite a bit on Project Spirit and Mavericks in general along with that. While I'm also on the subject of this particular mini-series, there's been a few people within the Maverick Nation that also have YouTube channels of their own who've kind of asked the question, they see me doing stuff and they're like, we could tell on certain things where you're really at home. This is where, in this series, I hope all of you see, when it comes to cars and, bringing romance with the cars and things like that, you're really going to be able to see where I'm quite at home. Now, if you're new to the Prince Magnum channel and you haven't quite grasped that whole thing, how romance and cars fit together, let me give you a joke that I've been using more and more of. And that joke goes, imagine if you're a single woman and you're about to go out on a date. Do you want the custom 70s car, or do you want to be picked up in a Yugo? You decide. Not that there's anything wrong with the Yugo. Some people like that, But, given the option, more women than you'd like to think, young, old, and in between, would prefer something like this to be picked up in. So if you're able to kind of grasp that, okay, this is something that, and you'll find out how that all comes together within this series, how it all ties in, and how Project Spirit is able to bring that hot rodding style and the romance right into connection with it. So just bear with me. This is just kind of preparing you all for what's yet to come. And you guys will see this video, but it'll be a little bit before you see the next videos, because there's a lot of prep work that has to go into this series. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm already enjoying the work that we're putting into it, but this is just kind of preparing you all for what's yet to come. So that brings us to a good stopping point. I know normally in a lot of my videos I do shout outs. You guys know who you are, and if you don't know who these people are, just look around a lot of my videos. You'll see a lot of shout outs to a lot of awesome people. We're skipping shout outs in this introduction. Those will come throughout the series as my big thank you to those people who have kind of asked me to kind of do something like this, especially again with Project Spirit turning 45 as of November 19th. So there it is. All right, if you will, get out there and work on a project. I don't care what it is, just do something with yourself. Remember, idle hands and a creative mind, they make horrible bedfellows. If you have a sweetheart, sweep her off her feet. Do something special for her today. And as always, for all of you out there, no one out there has told any of you that they love you today. As Dragon does, God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.